existence.
Yeah,
Cool.
how's everyone doing today?
Doing great. Yeah, Zion, but I'm also in the Discord, and in my name there's Ultramega, with in parentheses Wendell Supremacy.
Okay, all right.
Good
So we had you on. We had you on.
I know who you are now.
Yeah.
I was good.
Yeah, no, sorry. I like communicate with you guys on Instagram and Discord, and it's like, yeah, two different areas, but same person.
But yeah, have you read Radiant Black 17?
I have.
What'd you think?
It was really great. I think personally, like everything involving Wendell, because he's like he's kind of that character where it's like we've seen him in the background, we've seen like a little bit of him, but it's like not that much, you know. I think he was first introduced in like, was it issue 3?
It was issue 5.
Issue 5. Oh,
Yeah,
never mind. Yeah, I was way
back.
off.
Way back.
Yeah, but like, yeah, when he was first introduced, I'm like, there's like a little bit of that sense of like, he can kind of see the future or whatever, because he knew that like the Radiants were going to be fighting people, but it's like we never really got like anything beyond that. So it's like this issue is like really interesting, you know, from everything from like the sugar to the whoopee cushion. It was just like, oh, okay, just really interesting to learn about.
Yeah, absolutely love that. At
It's nice
first,
to
it's
see
like,
him.
oh man, you know, like he takes a lot of sugar in his coffee at first. Like I was like, holy crap! But no, they keep going, and it's just like the way they play it is just like, no, it's just so well done. And this is definitely an issue too. Like I flipped through this thing back and forth so many times, like I've lost count at this point.
I didn't even get the sugar on like the first read, and then I like went through and like reread it before joining the call like an hour back, and I was like, oh, that's why it was there. Like I remember Kyle in the Discord, he was like, oh, and we changed like this blank bag to be sugar now, and I was like, cool, but why is that important? And then I I was like, oh, like it's like
that's a good
everything's
catch.
there.
I didn't even see that. And like not the sugar, but then he said that like, hey, this was just a bag, but then we indicated like that. It's really cool to see how the sugar is made and stuff like that. So I like it.
Well, just wanted to mention real quick. I don't think we mentioned this earlier, but is anyone getting this jigsaw puzzle? This issue 17 jigsaw puzzle.
I saw that.
I'm
exclusive.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but like my only issue personally is that
I
like
don't know.
I've gotten all the posters, all the
I'm not
Masterverse
patient
posters.
enough. I'm not patient enough for puzzles personally. I cannot.
Where would I
lose my
display it?
mind.
Yeah,
Where would
many
I
pieces?
display it?
Oh, that it would look beautiful for sure. I don't know. I guess I could give it to someone else to do and then display it.
Go on Craigslist. Need someone to do puzzle.
Laziness.
It won't kill you.
Okay. Now I'm rethinking it. Now I might actually get it, but no.
I do want to say, like, I love the variety of what they're adding to the store. Like, I think them expanding to puzzles now, and then who knows, like notebooks, puzzles.
Let's get the Radiant Black activity book with word searches, color and stuff like that. I would like I would buy it.
I thought you were gonna ask for scratch and sniff again, but that was
No,
I realized that was what's his
that.
Why
name.
not?
No, that was
I forgot. Yeah.
Where's my Radiant Black?
Derek. It was
Derek,
Derek.
yeah.
It was Derek. Yeah.
and it's not happening. We got definitive like that's not
Even yeah, Melissa, like didn't someone bring it up recently where Melissa suggested like a scratch and sniff component and they were just shut that shit down. They're like,
That's
nope.
my favorite. Like the one thing is like definitive no is scratch and sniff. Like maybe they tried it and like I don't know, it like didn't work out and Kyle's apartment just spelled terribly for like a month and it's like a bad issue. I don't know.
No. On the opposite end of that, they tried it. It was the best thing ever and would have fixed humanity, but they couldn't release it. It would just be too strong.
It was just too
We just
good.
couldn't
Too
justify.
life-changing.
I'm still waiting for the day like our bath bombs are gonna open and we're gonna find like the radiance inside. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for that day, Kyle. But no, I really wonder like has anyone like genuinely like because like I want to shower with the bath bomb, but I also want to keep it. So it's like I'm genuinely.
I'm never
Yeah.
using it for sure.
Yeah,
Mine has
Unless they
just
end
been
up putting
like
more on sale.
mine has just
I-
been sitting in my like bathroom for the longest time, and I'm kind of just like it's a collectible at this point.
It's a family heirloom now.
100%. I
wondering,
did have a
like, is
question
anyone
for
gonna do it or
you.
not? What?
No, I was gonna say I did have a question for you, Zion. Just like all the rogues in this, do you have specifically a favorite one, or
Ooh. That would be. I really like Shift. Shift is cool.
yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with shifts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like his design. It looks
They're kind of just all good. They're better in a team personally. Like I like them
Exactly.
as a team together.
Dude, I
But
want to just see more Mecha, bro. He's just such a fucking badass.
he's a
Like,
beast.
dude.
Mecha
I
was
love that
really
one
interesting.
page, like his sumo, like he's like doing a sumo squat as he's like jumping on the ground. He slams on the ground in front of Radiant Black. He's just a tank.
Oh yeah, that's a good catch.
It gives our characters a chance to pop off and really show off their abilities because he can take it. So it's really interesting when he's there. And like he's just like there's probably gonna be like an army of those things in space if we get to a big fight like that. I know we don't know what this book is or like who we are, but like yeah, when we see like can you imagine like 6 or 7 of those like oh shit, and then who knows what other tech like they could be walking like the big ass elephants in Lord of the Rings like like it's great, and we've gotten flashes of where we could end up in like the series.
Kathy's gonna be raging. She's not gonna want Nathan up there by himself. She's gonna
There goes the sign. 0 days.
Suit, jump up. Yeah.
0 days since Kathy represents the podcast.
Yeah.
Damn.
There we go.
Yeah, you never know. Kathy outside. Let's go.
I really love with all the villains too. Like they all feel like they're on their own like power level. Like the one dude attacking who I think it's Marshall that he's attacking and not Nathan. And then he's like you want to give up now, and then Marshall's like I'm literally like dodging all of these like what. And then but then there's like Shift who seems like an actual match, and same with Mecha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also just wonder, like we were talking about earlier, like is there gonna be a Fab Five after this issue, considering like Doppler pretty much did a heel turn and sabotaged the whole
I've
plan.
said it in the Discord and I'll say it again, okay? Just a Fab Five and a Radiant Black McFarlane Toys like build a figure
Oh
would
my
be
God.
genius.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this McFarlane deal to
That-
break.
that-
Like
that-
obviously,
exactly.
Toy Boy
Yeah.
Todd's got to hook us up. Todd Father, come on! I hope you're in the warehouse making the Radiant Black. Like, come on!
Exactly.
Yeah, bro,
We-
Todd hasn't even made. I can't even remember the last time he's made a female DC character. Like other than Batwoman Beyond. Other than
He
Batwoman
did like
Beyond.
a gold label like Wonder Woman figure.
Oh, the Doctor Fate helmet, that one.
No. It was a Wonder Woman one, and she was like pure gold, and I don't. It was part of some
Probably
comic.
the-
but I don't-
We need
Black
more.
Adam
We need more
stuff.
figures. But
There's
he's
got to
been
be She
releasing
Spawn
figures.
figures, right?
Yeah.
She Spawn.
Yeah. She spawned.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there's
She
a new
spawned down by
one.
the seashore. Yeah.
A million different
Yeah.
ones.
But I want to see more figures in general from Todd, just from everything. Dude, those figures are killer, and he's been like pumping them out, so props. But
Or non-Batman figures. We'll say that.
Well, why do we have Bat Rossidus? Like, why does that even exist? Like,
Bat
okay.
Rossidus.
No,
Give me-
you guys bring that up, but actually in my room, I'm staring at it right now. I have a shelf that I've just been collecting
I
Batman
am
McFarlane toys.
I am
Like it's
Hell yeah.
all just
100%
Batman
sure.
McFarlane.
100% sure. But there's like 100 probably of those shelves just full. Like they could be making like I don't know. You could just spread it out just a little more, a little more. I get it. They do sell. They do sell. Money don't lie, but
Does
I used to
Batroc-
collect other ones, but like I just started accumulating so many Batman figures by McFarlane.
no,
I was
that-
like, okay, separate shelf.
You know, we're
That's
kind of geeky when my sentence are like, so does Batrocitus, like just like normally accepted
Yeah,
Batrocitus into the modern lexicon, but does he have his own deck star and he's kind of like a Robin? Like, probably not deck star.
that would be too. That would actually be good. So no, so they don't have.
But
that.
he could be like a bird. You could literally have like a space Robin instead of like a cat.
yeah, you had that idea with Atrocitus too. That was
Yeah.
Oh,
All my ideas relate to Atrocitus, at least 10%. But yeah, ever since Injustice 2.
Have a little. You gotta just have a little Dexter there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the world's not ready for Dexter. Anyways, what?
So my question is, man, like Wendell fans. Actually, it's not a question. More of a statement. Wendell fans are eating good right now because he's
true.
got this issue centered around like the man himself, and then we're getting another issue right after completely centered around him in
Yeah.
four different eras. So it's Rendell like times 4. Sorry, Wendell times 4. And I'm super excited for that issue just based on the preview pages alone. Like some amazing things are being shown. But I'm just curious, like, do you guys think it's gonna change in this? Like, do you think we're gonna get an announcement for Radiant Yellow in a couple of months, or what do you think? What do you think regarding that?
Wasn't? Oh, it's sorry to interrupt. But wasn't Radiant Pink like confirmed?
Yep.
Yeah. So I would just assume we're gonna get one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shafted
'cause
if it did.
We're,
It did.
we're getting
It's
around
probably
that
a
time,
good,
right?
Probably a fair assumption for sure. Never
He's the most popular. Like Radiant.
Oh,
I
for
love
sure.
Wendell.
That's not Radiant Black.
Never
Yeah.
can assume until it's actually confirmed for sure. But yeah, no, definitely,
No,
definitely
even in
somebody
the
to hope
Discord,
for.
even in the Discord, we did a poll recently, and I know not everybody voted, but like the second highest votes is who's your favorite Radiant character is Radiant Yellow, and I feel like the one that generates the most buzz, like other than Radiant Black, is Yellow, and I feel like very closely tied with Red, but Red's had her own series, so like it's impressive that he's generating that much hype and buzz for someone who hasn't even had his own series, and I want to say now that we've established. Like who the here. Let me just do this real quick. Let me pull this up. Radiant Black 18. So now that we've established who the creative team is for Radiant Black 18, and it's Lawrence Holmes, and we have the art by the fucking incredible. And I know, I know Charlie's very happy about this. Stefano Simeoni, and we have Higgins and Lawrence Holmes co-writing. So obviously, looking back at Radiant Black #6, Radiant Black #6 was co-written by Cherish Chen and with Kyle Higgins, and the art was by Darko Lafuente and Mikel Muerto and Becca Carey. And then when we look, looking back, that's the team that did Radiant Red. And then you look at Radiant Black #12, right? Radiant Black #12, you had Megan Camarena, French Carlo Magno, Mateo Econo, Diego Sanchez. So only Megan is the one that's involved from that, I believe, is involved in the Radiant Pink miniseries. So do you think any of these creators from Radiant Black #18 would be involved in the Radiant Yellow miniseries? Maybe Lawrence Holmes.
I think that's fair to say.
I feel like Stefano's like a hard lock for 5 issues. Like it would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like that would be fucking incredible.
He's just like just so far all the other Radiants have had just such a distinct style away from it. Like it's just I think it's really just gonna put his imprint on Yellow, and I think after that we won't want anyone else for sure. And yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love if it was Lawrence Holmes and Stefano Simeone. Like, I don't know who they pick for colors because I feel like that depend a lot on who's available and everything. And I feel obviously we have a whole host of people we would love to color that book, but in terms of just a writing and the inking slash illustrating team, I would love Stefano and Lawrence. That would be amazing if that could happen.
Sky would be the limit too. Like Satomi's story I liked, but it was very contained, right? It was in like one area. With Pink, we can go anywhere, and with Wendell, we can go anytime.
We don't even know shit about Wendell. Like,
That's what I mean.
Don't. Yeah, like
we don't know any time.
Like the next issue is really yeah, we don't know any time. But the next issue is really the first issue where we really dig into him individually. Like this issue, yeah, he appeared in it, but we didn't really dig into him as a character. You know what I mean? He was assisting the other characters, but
it was like exactly like 11, right? 11 before 12. Exactly like that. Like we had Eva like doing the Twitch stream helping Marshall out, and then we had her origin in 12, I think.
Exactly. No, that's a perfect comparison.
Good call. Well, it's interesting. I wonder what they're going to do at 24. It'd be the first.
That's what I've been thinking.
Right? Like, maybe no one. Who do you think is the standout that we saw?
I'm assuming we're going to get like a little bit. What was the name of it? Like the Collision War that was leaked.
Oh,
I'm assuming we might get a little bit of that.
Catalyst War. Yeah.
Catalyst War. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, they might change it up. We really never know. If it's a character, it could be it could be 001, it could be no one, it could be. There's a lot of characters, and that's the thing. Like I don't think we talked about this. I think last episode. I don't think 001 is like the kind of character that's gonna stay away forever. I think they'll bring him back eventually because he's really cool.
I disagree. What if no one is 001 and that's just new gear on him? Because
we said that before.
Did
he gets an upgrade. Yeah, we all say like he gets an upgrade. That's a good theory, but I have no idea. But like that's
been chilling. Remember how much we speculated about that guy for months, and then he's just been chilling. Like who even hasn't been tamed? He was in Marshall's like Radiant thing. Could he just pop out of Nathan's chest now?
Like Shift replaced him kind of. You know what I mean? Because like while Shift isn't an alien, he effectively is the double katana wielding, teleporting, wearing the same kind of aesthetic gear. You know what I mean? Like so. Yeah. And I feel like we said this before. I feel like there's no Radiant Green, but Shift also occupies the green aesthetic. Yeah, because like you can't really have a Radiant Green who look like a Green Lantern.
True.
Yeah. I'd still take it though, to be honest. But Okay, I think that Phantom one was a little bit green, like that Soon one.
Yeah, no, it's true. Had like a little bit like green, light green.
Well, whatever. Zion, what do you think of the sharing of the radiance between them? In
Oh,
that
dude,
paper?
like just it gave me this like oddly weird sense of like when I first started reading comics, like my dad, he had a whole like bunch of like team up issues, and it's like it kind of felt like that, especially when they like shared it at the end where they were both like half radiant black, and they did like the cool punch or whatever.
Yeah, that was so.
Like yeah, no, it was just it just felt like such a great moment, and when it started happening, I was like, oh, that's badass. Like I didn't realize they could do that, and I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I agree. I was telling the guys that kind of reminded me of a symbiote because it had like a weakness to sound, but at the same time it was like it split itself like that. Like it was very quickly equipped and everything. It'll be interesting to see they dive deeper into like the logistics of the Radiant and what syncing really means later on and everything. If they ever do, that would be really cool.
I was just wondering, like after I read it, I was like, well, like if one of them is like flying to save someone and someone else accidentally turns into it, are they just gonna, start like falling to their death? How does that work?
That's a good call, but like they
They're-
can kind of like a mental thing, right? So they said the thing about
Yeah.
finishing sentences, so maybe they'll know. Someone has to be really cool about it, like, hey, this weekend going on a date, need the Radiant or something.
I would love to see like both them trying to stop like a bank robbery or trying to stop different like supervillains at the same time and having to like switch back and forth like a whole bunch. I think that'd be crazy.
Yeah, and a series ripe with potential. This is just a small fragment of like the amazingness and where we could go with it. Like, who even knows? Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I feel like honestly, even if we don't get the return of the Fab Five in the form as is, like if Doppler somehow splits up or whatever, or like one of you proposed earlier, like if Satomi somehow joins the Fab Five and then Doppler becomes a good guy, that would be pretty cool. That'd be like, but if this is the only issue where we see the Fab Five for the foreseeable future, I really enjoyed like the Sinister Six vibes in this issue, and I think it was extremely well done. Also, just I love that for a long time we've all been, everybody here on the podcast, on the Discord, everybody who reads the book has been talking about how they've been looking forward to Mecha, and I feel like they gave us a lot of fan service in the last two issues with Mecha just tearing shit up, you know?
Oh, definitely. Just a real force to be reckoned with.
So are you guys all gonna be getting the helmet variant for Radiant Black 18 with Radiant Yellow on it? I feel like that one's gonna be a bit of a bitch to find.
Is it a ratio?
125. Yeah,
Oh, it's
125. Yeah. This is gonna
I'll
be.
try. Like all the
Yeah.
ratio covers, I'll try.
Yeah, I'll try. Exactly. I
Well,
don't know what the foreseeable future holds for us, but
I don't with most of the covers, I haven't been like there's a few that I've been kind of gamey about, and I'm like, okay, I need that. But I don't know. With most of them, I just have it in my pull box and whatever my like local comic owner gives me, I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
so Supermassive 2. How excited are you for that?
On a level of like 1 to 10, probably an 11.
Oh man. So are you reading Dead Lucky as well?
Yeah, I don't know if there was a second issue. I went a little early this week, like as soon as Radiant Black 17 went, I went to my comic shop and grabbed everything. So if Dead Lucky 2 is released after that, but yeah, I have first issue and I'm caught up with Rogue Sun.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, like I'm assuming you know that Dead Lucky is gonna be in Supermassive 2. I'm like pretty
Yep.
hyped for that. Yeah. So like I'm super hyped for it because like I was like it's just a matter of time, and I'm wondering now if it's gonna be the Morrow connection that brings them all together.
I'm also curious if they're gonna, because at the end of the first Supermassive, that's when we got our like first tease at Dead Lucky, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm curious if like at the end of Supermassive 2, if they're gonna kind of tease at like another book or another character or anything like that. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I really hope that's the case. Yeah. Because like they actually put Dead Lucky and Rogue Sun in Radiant Black 7 in the posters, and I'm ever since
Mhm.
that day I've been like eagle-eyed looking at every single page of Radiant Black and all the Massiveverse, making sure they don't give us like another one of those. You know what I mean? Like another one of those.
Mhm.
Like, oh, like there's hidden in plain sight kind of things. Because you never know with these creators. They're really clever and they've been sneaky in the past.
Oh man, just looking at this B cover here, I don't know why I haven't like I've seen it before, but I haven't seen it too many times. But definitely my favorite cover for 18. I think it's sweet.
Yeah, and honestly, like that I really hope, looking at the covers in the future, it says Radiant Black number 19 is listed. So a brand new alien object has landed in Chicago. But what is it? And why isn't it doing anything? And in the wake of the shocking ending of the fight with Epic Front, which we just read, who even is Radiant Black these days? So in the cover, we see the cover by the amazing Jonathan Glapion. We see dark mode, like devil mode. I don't know what people call this dark mode. Radiant Black from that one issue. And he has like a big radiant beam or something coming out of his hand. So I really hope this isn't one of those cases where it's like a cover bait where they show you one thing on the cover, but it's not in the book. I hope we'll see a dark mode or something in the book. That would be really cool.
Yeah, here's to that. Yeah, that was probably still my favorite looking power up for sure. That page was still shocking. That cover is sweet too. Holy crap.
It's crazy seeing different, like all the different power ups that they can do. What I'm curious if like all of them have their own like unique mode, because we've seen Radiant Red do like the I don't know what you'd call it, like transform part mech. I don't that kind of mode versus like cape mode on Radiant Black. So I'm really curious to see what pink and yellow can do. Wendell just gets really swole, is what I'm assuming. Just like
I'm thinking pink can like probably like just drop like moons from Titan on top of you with portals and stuff like that. That's what I'd assume. Like,
crazy.
Bigger stuff, yeah. Drop an elephant on your head.
Kind of what I was thinking. I was like, well, would Pink's like ultimate, since she can like kind of place portals? Could it be like portals to like different dimensions maybe, or maybe something with like Wendell where it's like different time periods?
It's a good way to bring Cassia in too for supermassive as well. So that's good call. Yeah. I wonder if yellow can do like a solar flare like Krillin in Dragon Ball Z, if he can like blind. Yeah, whoops. I was actually, you can tell I was trying to do a solar flare because I just like moved the printer. But yeah, like the blind people, because that could be useful in combat, and it's like light based. I don't know if he can actually like launch. We've seen him use that, so maybe if he can make like a bright flash, I think that'd be cool. I think I'm really interested in exploring the kits of these Radiants. Like the characters are so good that like it's just like on top. It's like a nice little like. Yeah. It's like the cherry on top of seeing like, oh yeah, and it's like badass as fuck seeing like cape mode and like, oh yeah, we got Hulk Buster suits and shit, and we're gonna do it just like the fight with Conquest for the cover. It's like, oh my god, yeah. So we're playing with fire here, and it's not in the Firepower podcast.
I love all of like we're it feels like we're getting so much, but just like the perfect amount all at the same time, where it's like we're getting like we got introduced to Mecha, and it's like we're getting the next Supermassive, and it's like all these characters, we're learning more about Wendell, but also there's like so much that we just don't know, and it's just so perfect. Like it just keeps me anticipated for what's next.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Actually, speaking of what's next, coming to the end of this issue, actually, that the big line.
Oh yeah.
He's flying away. Oh God, this is wrong. He's going to kill us all. Any predictions from you, and any big thoughts? What was your reaction at first?
I'm assuming he's talking about Marshall. Marshall's been the one that's been always kind of like tipping back and forth between hero and villain, with like him just snapping people's arms and looking like he's killing someone but not actually doing it. So that's it would be interesting if he's actually talking about Nathan. I'm like, that would be kind of wild.
Yeah. I honestly like fear. I hope it's like one of those situations where they don't have Wendell acting like different, or like trying to prevent a potential future. Do you know what I mean? Where he might start sabotaging the team or something, because I love Wendell and I really like his dynamic, with the team, and they're just I feel like they're just now getting to be buds and everything, and it would really suck if like some of the Radiants are just now starting to all, feel normalized around each other and feel more comfortable, and it would suck if like, oh, suddenly everyone's like, oh, I'm suspicious of you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm wondering too, is like, so Wendell says that it's like, it's kind of blurry, but like other things are a little bit more clear with like seeing into the future. So I'm like, does he know which person is gonna, end up killing them all, or is it kind of like he just sees like a radiant? Can he see the color, or how's that work?
I have no idea. He might see like a face or hear a voice or see a
Hmm.
person, but my thing is I really hope that he takes it with a grain of salt because he already was wrong about how the issue itself, how that events in that issue is going to turn out. So it'd be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I hope he like takes that into consideration because that in itself was interesting, and I'm personally very curious as to why that is the case in particular because it seemed like it like. I guess he didn't bring it up as to not shape it or like because he never brings it up to Nathan where he's like your friend is gonna die. He says your friend's in danger, I think, or something like that, but I don't think he
Hmm.
explicitly says he's going to die. I think he says he's already dead or something. I'm gonna double check right now, but
That was I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that was the mech, and it said that he's deceased soon. Was
Yeah.
the but Wendell
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, he's in danger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just want I hope that we investigate that further because I'm very curious as to why Wendell was very convinced that he was going to be dead and why
Hmm.
he's very shocked that it did not turn out to be the case.
It's purposely ambiguous, a lot of this issue, leading us to
Hmm.
speculate stuff like that. And it's the best kind. I love this shit. Like speculate. Like there's a character in Lost who has a similar role to Wendell in season 3, and there's a lot of like time travel stuff. I love that speculation stuff, and I think there's been a lot to draw on here. And I like this. Like Marshall, like when is Marshall dying? Was he supposed to die there? Was there something Nathan did in that fight to keep him from dying? Is he gonna die later on? Obviously, I guess it was right there, but who knows what was supposed to kill him? What small change was Doppler and the hammer? I mean, Wendell was doing that. I don't know. And there's like this whole thing of the future changes all the time. Like, is it just like, is there one feature that he sees? Like, the more we talk about it, the more like mind melting it is, like talking about Endgame. But there's a lot to go here. And I'm sure Kyle's mapped it out because they've mapped out everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy
Yeah.
reading this, and then like a while back, I think he said they're like planned up to issue like 32 or 31 or something like that. It's just like crazy, just being like, well, what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, no, and that's the most exciting part, I think. It's good for once to see an enthusiasm of a creator who wants to continue to like go and tell a story because I feel like some creators get a lot like they get caught up in for example, I've seen a lot of titles in the last 2 years that were made to be 5 issue stories, and then they take like a big hiatus to figure out how to make it like a longer story. But I like that he already has like you could tell the enthusiasm, the love and passion is all there because he's already planning ahead. They have a lot of plans. There's a lot of things they want to do. Like you can tell it's huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely not like it's not like they're printing out books just for the hell of it. It's like it seems like there's something like an actual story he wants to tell.
Yeah.
It's exciting to like be there like along for the ride.
Yeah, it's like it's not like they're making it up as they go, like each
Hmm.
month, which I feel like in some case, like I know something Scan the Children once in the future started out both as like 6 issue miniseries, 5 issue miniseries, and then they expanded and they had to take breaks, and I respect that, but at the same time, it's like it's so cool to see like someone who's already like not like I've had like 36 issues planned, like they're not super like fully like we have every word and everything, but like no, there's like a plan and overall narrative and everything, and that has me personally excited that the scope of it all.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm
Yeah.
like I just love with this series because we already had like the animated short, and I feel like there's going to be like another like Walking Dead or Invincible scenario where like
Yep.
eventually it gets brought to like a wider audience, and
Hmm.
it's just going to be so like awesome like being there from the beginning, and then getting to see it like because some of my friends they don't read comics. So I've tried introducing them, but they're just animated shows and all that. So it's going to be awesome like showing it to them, and
Yeah.
just I'm so excited.
We could be like
Yeah.
the Hulk handy, like when our friends are bummed out, just hand them the burrito in Endgame and be like, "Hey, here you go. Like here's the Amazon, and look, there's don't have to be pessimistic. Look, here's a guy who was like broke and stuff like that, but they got a radiant, and then he died, and then his life kind of got better." No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like it'll pop up. I mean, we've already got the
That's
voice
simple.
cast.
That's
Yeah,
simple.
if he doesn't have Batman
Exactly.
Beyond as the voice, we're gonna be like, what? Like this is crazy. Like imagine if like Superman comes out in 1940s. They don't even have like TVs yet, and then boom, it's like, okay, we got a voice actor. That's a shitty comparison, but like it's wild. It is wild where we're at right now, and like Bash mentioned the story earlier before you joined us and about Michael Cho talking about speculation, how Higgins is working for a movie. And I've always felt that's been Kyle's story since we heard his history of like going to film school and stuff like that. Like you can feel
Hmm.
there's been like I'm Abed here, and I can see the meta narrative and stuff like that. And it's really amazing seeing the stories we're following, not just the ones written, but like the real life ones
Okay.
of Kyle
Community
Higgins. Like
reference.
yeah, community references all day. We're streets ahead with those. But anyway. I muted myself while I said that, but yeah, great. We got good stuff on the way, and this story is amazing to be a part of it and watching it grow and just stuff like that. So it's amazing. Like when Bash recommended, this is a podcast topic, like he saw something in it. And like I thought the first few issues were really special, but then like the series has never let me down ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just so excited because like I talked with Kyle at like Comic-Con, Denver Comic-Con, and like like talking with him was really awesome. And then I was like mentioning Radiant Black, and he was just like, oh yeah, like no one knows what's really gonna happen, and he keeps saying that, and I'm just like, I feel like I have an idea where the story's gonna go, but he's just convincing me that I have no idea what's going on. And I'm just like, oh my god, like yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, nobody knows what this book is, and by the time you've listened to this podcast live, you're gonna hear that I played that clip there because we have to.
Here's what I
Anyway.
think is going to happen. No. Before you end it, when the last issue drops, the last letter column. Oh, and by the way, scratch the first issue, and the book was Scratch and Sniff all along. That's what I think is going to happen. That's my theory.
Genius.
No, okay. That's it from me this week.
All right, so before we end, anyone have any concluding thoughts before we wrap it up here?
Thank you for letting me on. It was really awesome.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's we're a bit short tonight just because we got a lot of work done this night. It's been a tight week, but we'll have more opportunities in the future, of course, to talk Radiant Black, and like there's gonna be the trivia this weekend. So
yeah, I hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there, and whoever else.
Oh, totally.
Anyway, thanks everyone. Thank you, Zion, so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for
and
coming
talking. Yeah, it's just a pleasure, and we'll see everyone later. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Radiant Black podcast. Today, we've got another edition of Radiant Roster where we're joined by a special guest, AmazingNickanger, aka Nick, the incredible artist. Yes. So,
Hi.
yeah, and before, that's pretty much it. Talk about all things Massiverse today.
Yeah.
Everything, whatever the things. So you went to a few conventions recently, eh?
Yeah. I've gone to I went to Morphicon, and then before that I went to like Anime Expo for like a day, but Morphicon was probably the biggest one and the most relevant one to talk about.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
awesome.
Morphicon. Dude, yeah. So you're a huge Power Rangers fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a big Power Rangers fan. Like I was a kid, I watched the shows, and then I think I watched it all the way up until I want to say Dino Thunder. That's like when I like watched it religiously, like every day. And then that's when I found out about like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, and then like my focus shift over to like that kind of
Nice.
over to that side of like the Power Ranger fandom and stuff like that. But I've always been like a big like Power Ranger Tokusatsu fan. That's always been like my vibe.
Okay. So I've heard this like you explained this before, so I really want to hear it again because I want everybody listening to hear.
Mhm.
What brought you to Radiant Black? Like,
Oh yeah. What well, the biggest I was kind of like coasting Radiant Black for the first like 6 issues. I had heard of it. I've seen people like talk about it and stuff like that. And then after I was at Universal Studios because it was like me and my wife wanted to go to a theme park, so we went to Universal Studios, and I was at there's something called the City Walk there, which is basically just like their shops. They have a comic book shop there, and they had just released Volume 1 of Radiant Black, and I figured like why not? They had the special variant for it. It was like $20, and I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. Like whatever, it could be good. Like I've heard good things about it. I might as well get it. So I got it, and it like changed my entire life. It changed everything. I read it as soon as I got home. I plowed through it. The next day I went to the comic shop, bought issues 7 and 8, and then here I am. I have not looked back since. One of the deeper parts of that story is that like probably a couple months before that I had actually lost my dad. So Radiant Black and like the Massive Verse in total has really like helped me cope with my feelings about that, about grieving, about the relationship I had with my father. And in that like relationship between like this and the comic book, it's become such a substantial, important part of my life. I mean, there's more obvious themes like in Rogue Sun where like you clearly have a like father-son dynamic. But also in Radiant Black, there's also just like this theme of like understanding where you are in life and like dealing with the pressures of oh my god, capitalism, and like where do you, like, as a creative person, like what do you struggle with? Like it hit, I feel like every part of the Massiverse just like hit me personally, and I'm just like totally in love with it.
Oh yeah. First of all, I'm sorry about your loss, but
Yeah, man.
I'm so glad that you found something like an outlet like Radiant Black where, you just enjoy Radiant
Mhm.
Black for what it is, and the fact that it helped you grieve and all that's amazing. I'm pretty sure, like, if Kyle ever hears this one day, that's gonna make him feel like, ooh, ooh, like hell yeah. So I mean that's just an amazing feeling. So I'm I can't wait to explore more of not only the relationship, like you said, the parental relationship that exists, which is actually now double complicated because of the dad and mom
Right.
and Dylan. Yeah. So in that story, but also in this one, because I feel like at this point it's clear that Marshall's relationship with his parents is messed up, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
His mom, that one time she showed up, I mean, she just gave him so much grief about a dog, and like normally people like love dogs.
Right.
Took the gift card and just walked
Dogs
off.
cost money,
Took
Marshall.
his
More
gift card. Like,
capital.
Took
that
his
was the
$100. His pizza gift card. That's Uncle.
And that place blew up. No one's getting pizza.
Oh,
Come
Right.
on.
that was brutal. Like, she didn't even like the pizza. She just took the gift card to make a statement. God damn.
And she's like, I don't even like this place. And just walked away.
Yeah, I know. She's probably gonna go pawn it off for $75. So yeah, just give me
Right.
cash.
I've got a massive first question for the panel. If two people who are synced with a radiant conceive a child, would the child have a radiant?
with the child. Would
Oh
just
my
be-
God.
Will it birth a
Wait,
new radiance,
So in
or
theory,
will it
what
split
you're
off
saying
into
is-
sections?
what you're saying is, will their connection to existence remain tethered in the child?
I think they're just a
Always.
dwarf star, right? Like, because you
Yeah.
have two black holes, and then it's just
These are
If
the
the
questions that matter.
Is utero just existence for that baby? Who knows?
Oh my God. Does the baby come with his own robot, or do they all share the robot after they're born? Like, that's what really matters. These
is there
are
a
the questions.
robot born with the baby? Like, that's,
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Just Kyle's gonna think we're crazy. I swear to God.
Yeah,
If
man.
he actually listens to this, he's gonna question my understanding. But anyway, wait. Here are the real questions. Okay, the real questions that matter. If there is a possibility that Guy has had children, what would that child be like?
no, man.
Is he an asshole if he forgets he had a kid and like walks out on the kid?
I mean,
I feel like that's a very accurate representation of what would happen.
Yeah.
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 God.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely lots of possibilities.
He
for
could have
sure,
literally just
but-
gone for cigarettes and not come back.
Okay.
And,
I,
like,
I,
like,
I,
yeah,
I,
just
have,
chose
I,
not to
I
come
have a,
back.
I have a legit question though. Now,
Okay.
Nick, if you could pick, like, okay, let's just say like a dream right now happens, or a dream happens where you get to actually do a Marvel. What am I saying? You get to do a variant for the Masterverse.
Mhm.
Would you want to do one specifically for, like, let's say you could only pick one at the beginning, just one. They give you a choice. Would you do it for Radiant Red, Radiant Black? What would you do?
I think the one that probably resonates with me would probably be Radiant Red. Just because like that was issue 6 was such a big draw for me, and then after like getting Radiant Red and reading it and seeing that like Asian representation, it was like a big part of like what I do online already, and I'm like that's definitely something I would want to contribute back to. That, and then probably the Dead Lucky, because again, like with BB being like a mixed person and myself being a mixed person, I feel like I also can like resonate with that ideology and like kind of express that in the art that I do. I mean, I love Radiant Black. I love all of the titles. Like they would all be like a complete honor to do, but like those are my top two. I think those would definitely do.
No, that's amazing. That makes me happy. And every time I've seen you draw Radiant Red, it's absolutely amazing. I remember, no problem. I remember the first time I saw your art for when you very, very early on joined the Discord servers. You did one of the emotes, and because we didn't speak much and I didn't know you well then. And I remember you did some emojis, and one of them was Radiant Black, because you gave it to us all at the same time. When I was Radiant Black wearing the scarf, and I'm like, I know this guy's like a real one. You know, like this guy's a real. He gave us Radiant Black with a scarf. Like we didn't even like ask for that or anything. That was just him. Like Nick was just like, oh no, we need this, and I'm like, oh yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
exactly like that.
That was
You don't
genius.
know you don't know it's necessary until it's just out in reality,
Until it
right?
happens, yeah.
That's how, I'm like, oh, this
Never
guy
know.
is like a mega fan. That's when I knew. Like, dude, he gave us the like. This has literally appeared in 2 panels in the whole like all the story so far. So the fact
Right, yeah.
like, he felt like this was, he gets it. So I was just like,
Yeah.
yes, we
Sometimes I
are
feel
part-
like I go crazy and I'm like, maybe I'm a little overboard. It was definitely after I made the Radiant font. I was like, maybe I'm a little insane.
Oh
But I
man,
don't care.
Laura like translated the font like after issue 2 was out or something. I remember there are people out there who
Yeah.
commit. It's crazy. I love it, man. You love to see it. Like that's what makes this kind of stuff beautiful. I think that's what made this community a little bit special as well. Like the Discord and all that. It's like all these people just wanted to come together to talk about the Masterverse, just like you. You just you wanted to have
Exactly,
someone
yeah.
to talk about this Masterverse stuff with. We're like exactly the same. So now not only we all have that together, but we also have all the creators in there, and this just makes it extra spicy. I swear to God.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Have you guys met any of the creators involved in the Supermassive?
No, I'm ashamed to say. I mean, I've
should
met
go
Kyle. I've met Kyle like 3-4 years ago, but like he didn't know who I was because it was before Radiant Black. BRB. It was BRB. BRB. It was two up BRB. No, but it was before Radiant Black. So like he just met him briefly at a convention, and yeah.
Right.
But no, we haven't met anyone. We've interviewed them all. Fortunately, we've had the opportunity. We couldn't make it to C2E2, but we're gonna try in the future. But what I will say. I met Michael Cho, so like because Michael Cho, the artist who did the cover for Radiant Black #1. I met Michael Cho here a few weeks ago. He's amazing. He told us like a couple of things that I don't know if he was supposed to, but I appreciated it. But we are gonna be going to a convention here locally where Will Friedel's gonna be attending. So we're
Nice.
gonna meet the guy who voices Radiant Black, and hopefully.
That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a ton of fun.
That'll
So
be super
I
fun.
guess we'll start somewhere. That's a good place as any to start.
Yeah.
Shout out to Helcon.
Didn't Charlie? Did you meet Ryan, or did he not end up going to?
Yeah, no, Kyle. Yeah, I think Kyle and Ryan were originally gonna come to Toronto Fan Expo. That was like I think 3 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago. But yeah, I think they ended up I think canceling out. Was that the same weekend as Power Morphicon?
I think
Might
that
have-
was
they
the
might
weekend
have went
before. I think that was the
Oh,
weekend
okay, yeah.
before.
They ended up going somewhere closer instead. Yeah, they couldn't make it unfortunately. But
Yeah.
next year,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. But
That
no,
convention-
there was still a ton of cool guests. There was a ton of cool guests. But I was bummed they couldn't make it for sure.
Man. Yeah.
Otley did it, man. I can't believe he did it. He was like not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, he
someone
was-
told him like you should go, and then he was like, they're like it's a big con. He was like okay, and he was like,
Dude, I actually take in. So I go up to his table 5 minutes before he starts signing, and there's a huge line. Like it literally goes like it was probably like 50, 75 meters long. Like just starting out. Like it was just starting out. So I went to the back of the line and I was waiting and. I was waiting, and then everyone was holding Venom comics, and I was like, what's happening here? So
Right.
I asked someone like, are you guys going for Otley? And no, Ryan Stegman's fucking booth was right beside Otley's. So
no.
everyone was lining up for him. So Otley actually didn't even have a line, surprisingly, fucking 5 minutes before. So I go up, first person there, got to meet him. But no, right after that, people just started piling in. Like
yeah.
he got a big line after that. But no, it
Yep.
was cool seeing. It was funny seeing TJ's name there on from the Invincible podcast.
Wait, so
on
so
the
we
list
have-
there.
Nick, you actually got to see the cutouts, eh?
Yeah, I did actually.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. you
Oh
bastard.
yeah,
It
that's
was
awesome.
quite a. It was okay. Hang on. Well, okay. So I was a vendor at Morphicon selling my artwork there.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
It was a great time. I had a fun time, but I was there like before everybody was in the convention hall, and I thought like, oh man, okay, like maybe I could just go like before it gets too crazy because I can't leave my booth once it like starts going. So I went like early and like I went early to where Kyle and Ryan's table was, and they weren't there. And then the convention hall opened up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check again just before it gets like way too busy, and they still weren't there. So I think they were about an hour and a half late. Showing up to the hall, which I thought was pretty funny. And then like I was there as soon as Kyle got there, like on my second or third visit to see if he was there. He just got there and he like threw his stuff all on the table and he's like trying to like get everything together. And it was like maybe like a group of 5 or 6 of us. And he looks at all of us. He's like, "Can you guys give us like 5 minutes?" I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, "I'm just gonna come back in 2 hours because I can't deal with this."
Oh, that's hilarious.
I mean,
So I left, and after like about I think like 3 o'clock, that's after like the lunch rush and everything. Like I went back over there and I had introduced myself, and like I had this little moment because like I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Nick. I draw a lot of fan art for Radiant Black," and he's like, "Oh, are you the guy with like the little orange and yellow icon on Twitter?" And I like had a like mini panic attack, and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that was me." He's like, "Yeah, man, I love your artwork," and he really appreciated that. And I told him like I appreciated like he made Radiant Black and all that stuff. And I hadn't made money that day, or I did make money already, but like I just didn't. I didn't bring my comics, and I was like, "I'll be back later because I have a lot of books for you to sign." So that was pretty fun. I did see the cutouts though. The cutouts were phenomenal. They were, I assume, life size. If they're life size, everyone's freakishly tall.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe the
that's
suits,
amazing.
the radiant gives them a couple of extra inches.
Yeah, it gives them a couple extra inches.
I mean, just the fact that he recognized you though is amazing. And
Yeah, that was fun. They're all really nice. And then I went to go meet Ryan afterwards, and he was really great. I think the next day I had handed off some artwork that I did for them, and it was like the 3 supermassive characters. I think I posted that on Twitter where it's like their hands are glowing, to kind of emulate that transformation moment. And I gave that to them. And I also gave them a print that I had not posted on Twitter yet, which was you guys have all read Radiant Black 17, right? Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Marshall and Nathan doing a fist bump, but each of them are wearing like half of the Radiant Black suit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that iconic panel. Yeah.
Yeah. So they really liked it. They really appreciated it. I left my contact with Michael. So you never know. Maybe if the cards fall in the right place.
I hope so. I really hope so.
If it happens, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big W as well. I mean, even I know they post like even if it's just in the letter section at first, and then the cover everything. That would be amazing because I know they have your art in the letter section before.
They had not, because I hadn't submitted anything to them yet. Actually, I don't think I've sent.
They had Wilser's art once.
Yeah, they had Willer's art before. Actually, he was He was like the first guy that told me about Radiant Black ever.
Oh, really?
Him and I are good friends.
Woo!
Okay. We because him and I draw Power Ranger art. There's not a lot of people that draw a lot of Power Ranger art, so we all just kind of know each other. Like, do you guys know who CV is? CV Illustrations. He makes the Power Ranger helmet enamel pins.
I do not.
He's a pretty popular dude in the Power Ranger like fan art circle, and like I bought him a copy of Radiant Black Volume 1 before I left that day. So like you need to read this. So he knows now.
You're spreading the Radiant gospel at this point. You're getting everybody in on the good. That's amazing. I'm telling you, we got some Radiant ambassadors here, and that's awesome. It's awesome. It's especially good when you see those people love it. Like, and most people do, I swear. So
yeah,
absolutely. Black would be sweet as well at some point. That'd be amazing. Everyone can show who their favorite Radiant is and stuff like that. I mean, you know, I'm sure Kyle already has like several in development right now, but it would be sweet if your friend wants to branch out. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. And so one thing, you know, that's one thing that's actually fortuitous that I mentioned earlier is that today is the same day that we got the drop for the solicits for Image Comics. So
yes,
let's talk about what we just saw. Yeah, let's talk about this. Hell yeah. So we've got obviously Radiant Black number 21. And as we've seen in the last issue, we had, in issue 20, we didn't read it yet, obviously, but we've seen the solicit where in cover C, they showed the robot or a robot that looks a lot like Nathan's robot, or Radiant Black's robot, and it's kind of like amidst all this destruction, kind of like a Godzilla-esque cover. And we see in Radiant Black cover A that we see obviously our boys, Nathan and Marshall, standing there. Hell yeah, suitless, so no Radiant Black suit on, but they are in the shadow of a big robot. I think it's obviously it's not like Mecha. I think it's the other robot. But yeah, like what the hell? Like obviously we've seen that this is the road to Catalyst War. So
yeah,
man, that's I've got some thoughts. But I just want to say big shout out to the cover B by Sachi Ediruira.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you don't know Sachi, he's just an incredibly talented artist. I highly recommend you check him out on Twitter, on social media, and just incredible stuff. He's already done pin-up art for Radiant Black before, so this is just, finally he got his chance. So like I said, you never know.
That's
But
good.
yeah, I love this. I love that, the Massiverse gives opportunities not just to, the big artists that we all love, which we've seen them do. We've seen like the Greg Capullos do covers, the Michael Chos. You've seen, all super
Yeah.
popular artists, right? But here we're getting artists that are like not like super mainstream popular. We not everybody know. Like, it's not Dan Mora basically. So
Right.
I mean, I'm glad that we're getting a chance. For me personally, I've gotten exposed to a lot of artists that I didn't know anything about. Like one that's become one of my first favorite, obviously other than Marcelo Costa, who I think we can all agree is legendary, is Abel of Rogue Sun. Like
Yes.
I just want to buy anything he does because he's so good. Like I don't care what he does. I don't care if he draws Barbie. I wanna read it because
Freaking real.
his art is incredible. So that's the thing. Obviously, Becca Carey, who I found out not only is just an incredible letterer of the Massiverse, but I've actually seen her in plenty of other books I've read before. Several, even DC, like several books I didn't even know she lettered. She actually lettered. So that's sweet. But
Yeah.
yeah, what did you guys think of these covers?
Man. So much to unpack here. But honestly, for me, the
Monty.
second one was a highlight. Like, just I think that's the first time we've really seen the energy, like the actual Radiant Black energy, almost like symbiote-esque, like
Yep.
just wrapping around him, and it just looks so cool. Like
Yeah.
that one, and the Igor Monty, right? Like, how can you
Dude, Monty just did like a mic drop. Like there's no
like,
statement needed.
holy
Yeah, he
yeah,
just walked in,
holy
he
shit,
he
like,
dropped the mic and left. This is it. Like,
yeah, no, literally reminds me of almost like the like in the Sandman, like that just happened, like him holding that dude, like just like almost god like just holding Radiant Black out there, and that just looks so awesome. But all these covers, even the A, it just like that one for me leaves the most mystery. It's like, what the frig is going on? What was that other cover that showed the robot and he was like, it was a raw cover, I think. Like, there wasn't a trade dress over it, but it was like
I
really
think that's the incentive for 20, I believe. The one with
that
him
is
just crushing shit. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So I guess
yeah.
we'll see some more robot crushing shit in that one. But yeah, no, literally have no idea what's going on here. But
Shift looks like a celestial in that cover C. Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
oh yeah, looks like a literal, like a, not a humanoid being, like just almost like
Shift.
Zordon, like some Power Ranger shit, I guess.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
channeling his Doctor Doom right now.
sometimes the fun things about variant covers is like they're just like so out there and outlandish, and it's like it doesn't have to make sense. You just like really enjoy it.
Dude, that radiant pink cover, it looks like Portal. You guys know the game Portal?
Yes.
It looks like Portal.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love that.
Portal
cover.
2's on Xbox Live Gold starting today, actually. So I was playing that, and it glitched me out, actually. I thought I was an idiot, but it turns out it glitched and the door just didn't open. So I felt stupid in the tutorial, but now I'm feeling pretty good about myself getting further. So yeah, Portal's the
Matt's
shit.
like theory crafting for radiant pink right now. That's what he's trying to say.
No, during Dead Lucky, that reminds me, like, imagine Supermassive, we just get a portal, and then boom, like, freaking Ghost just drops on your head and, like, wreaks some havoc. Like,
One of my my theories for like Radiant Pink is like, because like obviously the whole Massiverse has touched like different aspects of like tokusatsu and like the Power Ranger genre. I want to see like giant monsters, and I'm really hoping that like we get to see that in Radiant Pink.
Like kaijus?
Like kaijus, like yeah, you know what I mean?
We
Like,
got a
got
little
some,
bit
like,
of that
a
in
taste,
Supermassive.
man.
Just a
Supermassive.
little
Want to
bit.
go to
just a
some
little
like
bit, but I want,
like, give us a
uninhabited
taste.
worlds.
It was
like-
dope. I can't wait for more of that. Like just that little bit in Supermassive was great, but we need more.
yeah, to no one's surprise, my favorite movie is Pacific Rim, and like the creature design in Pacific Rim is like top notch, and I love seeing monster designs that are like that. So I'm really excited to see like the worlds that like Radiant Pink is gonna like go to, because it's gonna be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, so many possibilities. But no,
Mhm.
I did want to ask you guys about this this Rogue Sun. Moving on to Rogue Sun, this issue 10
Oh right.
by Luana Vecchio. Absolutely. This number 8, was it the number 8 one he did? Or they did? Let's see.
He
Yeah.
did 9 and he
Did 9, yeah.
9, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah.
Yeah,
or
it's
she,
the one. It's my background right now, like on my phone. It's just like
Nice.
any cover he does is just so clean. It just looks awesome. And this design, this Hellbent design, is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It looks pretty menacing. I'm scared for Dylan.
man.
Yeah, Dylan needs a break, dude. Dylan needs.
Yeah.
Dylan just
Yeah.
keeps facing adversity at every quarter. He's
Oh,
very much like
S's this year. I think he's gonna fail. Gonna have to
right.
repeat this high school year. This rate.
Yeah.
Dude, he lost his girl. He lost
definitely-
his dad.
he has
Lost
that
his mom.
energy of Clerks. You know, like I'm not even supposed to be here today, and it's just
Yeah.
everything is just it's just not worked out.
First Clerks reference on the podcast. Hell yeah.
Clerks 3 out
Yeah.
in theaters now.
yeah.
I've actually had Mike ask me specifically not to, because he was supposed to be on the podcast like several episodes ago, and he asked me, he was like, "Can you specifically delay me until episode 37 so I could make the Clerks joke?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." I have the message. He literally messaged me and asked me, he's like, "Can you please just not record until episode? I just want episode 37 so I can make that Clerks joke." I'm like, "Yeah, of course." like he actually asked me this. So yeah, no, there's people and
So we're booked for 37.
love Clerks. I love that people love Clerks and they recognize the potential and the comparisons between Nathan Marshall and Dante and what's his
It's
name?
what happens when a nerd sells his comic books. Dreams come true, and every nerd gets like a comfort series. So,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
crazy.
That joke will never not be funny to me.
But no, that's amazing. But I'm kind of concerned here. Like Dylan's getting the shit beat out of him in the last 3 issues. Like poor guy. Can't he just get a break?
I kind of like the darker path of Dylan's story though. It's like, yeah, Marshall is like this happy. Well, he's not happy-go-lucky, but he's kind of like this lovable idiot kind of energy. And Dylan is just having a rough time all the time. But also like I remember when I first read Rogue Sun, I was like, I kind of don't like Dylan because he's kind of a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
But then you realize like, wow, everyone's more of a jerk around Dylan. No wonder this kid's a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been tug of war for him his whole life, even like beyond the grave. His parents' divorce is not really that final, right? So it's like it's brutal. So we've heard of divorces hurting a kid in school that might be distracted. This definitely is a situation like that to the nth degree. So yeah, you get why he's an asshole. He's grown up in basically a battlefield. You know what I mean? Like when parents are fighting, like how the hell can you, if you can't agree on what's best for the child, then you get Dylan and you get a bully. And I like that theory someone mentioned of like one of the kids he bullied into doing his homework of like getting some kind of power or getting offered something, because it seems like it's easy. You just go to your local Finnegan route there and you get your death powder and you can do whatever. So who knows?
He's hellbent. He's coming back for him. He doesn't want to do any more of his homework. He's had enough.
At least heck of it. Yeah.
No, like all the covers. No, I was just actually looking at I don't know how long ago this was announced, but like the same artist, that Dead Lucky #4 B cover, that might be my favorite Dead Lucky cover yet. That thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's like her and her mask's off and it shows all the electricity just surrounding her with all the blues
I know what you're talking about.
in the background. That thing is gorgeous.
I think what is it? I have a fun story about a cover. I actually found the one. What was the David Finch cover for #1, Radiant Black #1.
Yeah.
I found that cover at a comic shop I've never been to like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I remember that tweet. Yeah,
it was in the Discord, right?
Yeah. I was up in LA because like the Dead Lucky #2 came out, so I was like, I'll go to Golden Apple because they usually like. That's a site that is promoted on Image. I'm like, well, if one place has got to have it, it's got to have it there, because I was looking for the variant too.
That's huge.
And then I guess I showed up too early because they said they hadn't received their shipment yet, and I was like, well, like me and my wife had plans for the rest of the day. We just don't want to like hang around and like look for, like, we don't want to just hang around just waiting for this one comic book. So someone had tipped off to me that like, oh yeah, like down the street at oh my god, what is it, Invincible City Comics, like they have it available. I was like, okay, cool, like I'll just pick it up over there. So I went over there and the guy was really nice. They had like 1 million copies, but unfortunately they did not have the 1 in 25. Was it 1 in 25 or 1 in 20 for the
1 in 20? I'm pretty sure. I think
20,
Radiant Black is the only one that's 25 still.
1 in 20, okay. Yeah, so they had the one. They didn't have the 1 in 20 either. But like I like gave a scan of the of their variant wall, and right in the corner was the Finch cover, and I was like,
Oh wow.
I didn't walk away with that. It was I like could not. I didn't care how much it was. I was like, I'll take whatever that is up there. And he had two. He had two of
Oh,
those
wow.
covers.
That's
I
awesome.
bought one, and then I texted my friend immediately. I was like, if you want this cover, you got to come get it like now. So like I think 2 hours later he came by. I was already gone, but he came by and bought the second one. So now we're variant buddies, and that's how I got that.
That's a good pickup for sure. Gorgeous cover. Like it's
Absolutely. I think it's my phone.
definitely
It's one of my phone wallpapers, I think.
Oh, 100%.
The new iPhone update. So
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely one I cycle through. I just have like a couple wallpapers I just like to refresh it once in a while, you know.
right, yeah, I totally feel that.
And Charlie, you got that the Massiverse poster on your PS5, right? Which one did you decide on?
Oh yeah, no, I did end up going with the supermassive one.
Yeah.
The I noticed like I was choosing between the the black light, the big spiral like double
For Mystery
001.
10, yeah.
Yeah, Marshall going through the spiral, or just like the classic A cover of the supermassive. But no, I went with that one. Like the colors on the digital screen, man, it's absolutely insane. Like on the monitor, it looks
sick.
like it looks insane. I love it. And that's something I don't know. My brother has a PS5. I don't have one yet, but I don't think like he hasn't found a way you can actually do that yet. Like it actually changes the wallpaper for every icon you're on. I don't know if that's a setting you can change around or
Could be an
but
update.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Hopefully, because I want that when I eventually upgrade for sure.
Yeah, man.
Definitely need that. But
So-
no, it was actually the one from the USB drive, like all those, like it had that little folder of wallpapers, so I was just scrolling through those and yeah.
Access. So
Access, yes.
So Nick, did you are you one of the people who was able to back Inferno Go Red, or did you miss the
No,
Kickstarter?
okay, so no, I couldn't do it before, and
Yeah.
like as I
We're
felt
all
a little,
suckers.
I had a little FOMO when I was at the Supermassive panel because they said that the graphic novel was going to probably release sometime next year, like in its completion for the Kickstarter backers, and then for us simpletons, like we have to wait like 3 issues while it comes out over the next consecutive months. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
okay.
No, I gotta wait 2 months to get caught up. I hate
Oh, I
this.
know. Dude, those
Yeah.
preview pages, that's become like
Yeah,
one of my
man.
most anticipated books for sure. Like across any company, like those honestly looked like some of the most gorgeous pages
Dude,
I've seen.
Erica's insane. Like
Oh,
that's
Erica's,
another
like,
person
so
who
talented.
didn't.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's so
like-
great.
I've never heard of her before. I found out about Inferno Go Red, and now I'm obsessed with her artwork. Like I'm genuinely like obsessed with her artwork. Like I look at it all the time. Sometimes I'll just catch myself sitting in the corner of my room and just like checking out Inferno Go Red old panels. Like,
Is she a newer artist or has she?
I've never seen her like in anything. So like this is the first I've heard of her. I don't know if that's because I'm like of my ignorance, but I read a lot of
It's
comics,
definitely
so-
mine, yeah.
Yes, and she like so yeah. I mean, she says she's like when you look at her profile, it says that she's an artist, co-creator of Inferno Go Red for Image, and then it says Marvel and Dynamite. So I don't really recall. Like I don't. I
Worked on some Red Sonja, some the Mighty Valkyries, and Prison
I see that
Witch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have those books. I have the Valkyrie ones.
Yeah, man.
That
Yeah,
makes a lot of
I
sense.
wish I could go back in time and be part of that, but unfortunately not. I always find it. I had heard of Inferno Go Red first before I had heard of Radiant Black, because Willard, I think, did a cover for Inferno Go Red, so he like had shown me when he was done with it. The thing I always like Radiant, or I'm getting like my names confused. I always like Inferno Go Red because it's like, oh, if there's like a common writer of the series, it's Inferno Go Red, and it's very obvious like an homage to like Kamen Rider because she has like the scarf, she has this like design that's just like very reminiscent of like Kamen Rider 1, and that's like my biggest appeal for that. Which is why I was like, I really want to see Kaiju, because like I feel like again the whole Massiverse is like touching all different aspects of like the Power Ranger Super Sentai genre. So that's my biggest appeal for Inferno Go Red for sure.
And there's a cool power set to like that they can all use together. So Kaijus would be the perfect target practice for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's super fun.
I hope we all find a way to one day get Inferno Go Red somehow. Like the Kickstarter.
I mean, we'll
edition.
all get
One
it at
day,
some
one
point.
day, one day.
No, but the Kickstarter
You just
one
have to be
particularly.
patient.
Yeah, patience, yeah. Just wait till some simpleton sells his copy because he just, whatever, or his or her or their copy, and then we'll just, we'll be like vultures all fighting
You never
each
know.
other.
Yeah, like the amount of times I've forgotten I've backed something, and then like 8 months later, I was like, well, I don't remember like backing this D&D thing, but okay, like I guess I have this now.
Yeah. And were you one of the people who at the conventions got one of those Michael Basuto signatures?
No, was that at the comic? What, like they were giving out comics at the at the
He
panel?
was signing like his name, Michael, because like he's an editor, but
Right,
like, everyone knows, but like he's just because like he's not one of the creators per se, but he was because some people were asking for his signatures, and then he was doing these really cool signatures where it was like each of them was like the emblem of the respective character.
Oh, okay, yeah, I understand. No,
Yeah.
I did not because so I went to the panel and I got the yellow poster. But I also have the San Diego Comic-Con poster. And I got that because my friend knew that I was a big fan. So he went for me to get it all signed by everybody. I had seen that tweet though of Michael like doing all the significant symbols for all the characters. I checked mine, it is not on there. But it would have been cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious because like he added one that nobody really knows about. Like,
Right, yeah.
Is that no one or?
You guys were talking about like the last couple episodes, like is it that new character no one? And I did go ask that question when I went to go see Kyle one more time. I was like, who's that character, like, in the trench coat and the one eye, the Cyclops dude? And he's like, that was no one. Just like, all right, then.
Yeah. So he says it very like bluntly too. Oh, it's no one. Yeah, like,
There's no one. Oh, also, what another funny story is like I gave everybody artwork for like my fan art to like Kyle and Ryan. They each had given me something. Ryan gave me a variant cover, which he gave me the what is it? The Radiant Black issue 10 mock cover. So it was the issue 4 version for Rogue Sun. It's like the energy exploding thing that looks like the issue 10 of Radiant Black.
Oh, yeah.
So he gave me that. He signed it. Really great. And then Kyle gave me knowledge. He showed me the entirety of issue 18.
Ooh.
So I was like, he like handed me the iPad and he's like, yeah, start scrolling. And I was like, okay. And I started scrolling. I was like, no, no. And I was like, is this all of it? It's like went all the way to the end. And I was like, no.
Okay, here. You can confirm something here, which I don't think is a spoiler. So. And I'm not gonna. We don't like. I mean, you can tell us whatever behind the scenes, obviously, but we don't like to spoil anything. But one thing Kyle did post today in the Discord. I'm pretty sure you already knew this because, like you said, you just saw the access, let's call it. Right. So, which is awesome, by the way. And I can't wait for us to all talk about it. But today in the Discord, he posted like a page with issue 18, Radiant Black. It's like Infinity Edition. It was all yellow. Did you see it?
I don't think so. Oh wait, no, hang on.
I'm gonna post it in the Skype right now.
Okay,
so if
got it. Yeah.
Look at the chat. It's there. Did you see that?
Oh yes. Okay, I did see that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just confirm this for us. I think just looking at that, like that's. I think Radiant Yellow is talking to a yellow robot. Is that correct?
I'm gonna be honest. I skimmed through it because I was both afraid. And there were people behind me, so I couldn't
I'm also sure. Yeah, you brought like. Yeah, I wouldn't want like those spoilers either. Or just see something like you want the context, more context.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you didn't have time to read through it.
I didn't have time to read through it, but I did see the ending. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it at. Like I did see the ending of the issue, and I was like, dang.
And you're intrigued.
I was intrigued. Yeah, because it was significant enough for me to thumb through virtually because it was on an iPad and understand what the ending was. That's like how I can describe it in the best way. It's like, damn, this is wild. All right, thank you.
I'm a prematurely say that this is his old robot, and I'm gonna say that I really hope this like maybe one day we do a magic trick where like fucking Radiant Pink just pulls her robot out of the portal. Like that would be really cool. Like
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that is like I'm looking at the full cover now. Dang, dude, why is this robot beefy, bro? Like,
that's the theme with Radiant Yellow. Just
Yeah.
swole, man. It just
That's
seems to
facts.
be- yeah.
Maybe they can all absorb all their robots through their chest. They can just keep them all stored in there whenever they want them and just pop them out, you know?
Dude,
So
Stefano
small,
Simeone killed it. Like I haven't even seen the full
Oh,
issue,
yeah.
but like just looking at the previews and just that page, like the art's insane. Like
yeah.
insane. Like oh my god.
This week. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for that.
I
Yeah.
do want to point out when I was at the panel, like the dynamic between all the team, like everybody in the Supermassive team, just seems so fun, and it seems like because like Kyle can say whatever he wants essentially, and like he was like going off on tangents a couple of times when he was like talking about the Massive Verse, and he's like, yeah, we can just tell him whatever I want, and then Michael's like, I can't stop him. He can literally tell you everything. I couldn't stop him. But it's always really fun to kind of like. I've noticed I've talked to a couple people and like who I don't remember who I was talking to, but they're like, he told me who the Cyclops person is, and I was like, damn, don't tell me though, like don't I don't want to know. Like please don't tell me because I kind of want that experience. But like it's so funny that like Kyle will sprinkle these things to people, and he's even admitted like on the panels like sometimes we tell you guys too much, but whatever, like you know, hey. Like, so that's the perks of like meeting people in real life or coming to the events. It's really fun. Like they make it an experience, and I think that's great.
Yeah. I think he's probably also I think in the same way that we're so and I mean I know I know this just from seeing his enthusiasm and like hearing your story just now, your experience. I think okay, fuck it. I know that he's just as excited as we are.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, because he's like, you know, he's a comic book guy. He grew up reading comic books. He knows what it's like. He's been on the record saying he loves Power Rangers. He loves Nightwing. You know,
He's the
and-
wizard from the magazines.
Yeah, man.
and just like I imagine in the same way that we can't wait to dig into it, he can't wait to be like, yeah, look at this and look at all these cool things we did. And this, like, just today he's telling us,
He's excited about us, if not
yeah,
more.
yeah, exactly. Just today someone made a joke about how like what I made a joke in the same when he posted that image where it was like Old Man Yellow series one because you know it's him in the future and it's like Old Man Logan, Old Man Yellow, it's being cheeky.
That's funny.
Yeah, so he responds, and then someone responds to me, "Oh, please no, because I'm what." Owen responds to me, "Please, my wallet can take so much." And then Kyle says, "I'm sorry about next year."
Oh man, dude.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
man. There's
like-
so many different avenues of like how comic books can like be incorporated into so many different medias now, and like I think they do such a great job with that. I was actually a little concerned a little bit before because I'm like NFTs like became such a huge thing, right? And I was like, I wonder if they'll ever make one because like that seems like in line of like the
I know.
in line.
Michael
Yeah,
hates
no,
it.
that's facts. They
Yeah.
did that thing in issue 13. That was amazing.
They
That
made
was
Yeah,
fun
amazing.
of it.
But like this is like
14.
early. I think this is like issue what? Like this is around the time like issue 9 and issue 8 came out. It was like early, right when I discovered like
Yeah.
Reading Black and NFTs were becoming huge. But they became like so controversial in the art community of like, yeah, NFTs are terrible. And I was like, oh man, I really hope they don't do one then because like it does seem like in line for something like Reading Black to do. But it's really funny. Yeah, they made that joke, and I was like, they're not doing NFTs. Like,
No.
that's not, it's
No,
not
dude,
good. It's never gonna happen.
I've seen Michael, like, he's very funny on Twitter, you know, if you follow it, so it's mostly just jokes and stuff, and, you know, just other posts about work and stuff like that, his work. But I love, like, I've never seen him talk about anything with Venom other than NFTs. And, like, even, I knew he was, like, you know, he was one of us when he posted that, it was almost like a fuck you, where he posted the picture of Shear's Twitter profile picture, which is that monkey NFT, and he just kind of like spoofed it and put Shear. You know what I mean? And I was like, nah, this guy is, I know what
gets
he's
it,
trying
dude.
to say. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
exactly. He gets it. Like I know exactly what he's saying here. So no, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. And I do agree. Like I'm so glad that they cleared the air and just made fun of it and everything because even like the character Shear in itself, I feel like is largely just spoofy of those kind of things. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
One of my biggest things, like I'll on not to like self plug, but I am on TikTok as well. where like I just talk about either comic books, like movies and stuff like that, and like I get tagged in a lot of Radiant Black stuff all the time. So someone will like, especially when that animation came out, like everyone tagged me on like TikTok, like, hey, it's your guy, and I was like, yeah, that is my guy. Like, it's always it's exciting to see like, well, I always wonder like if Kyle has ever seen my TikToks talking about Radiant Black. I know Melissa has, because she's told me specifically that she's seen my TikToks, which I think is really funny. So I'm waiting for those jokes to come in where I'm made fun of exclusively.
What's your TikTok handle?
It's the same as my username on Twitter, AmazingNickanger. But yeah, like if you look up Radiant Black as a tag on TikTok, like 70% is me. Just talking about.
I've noticed that because we literally just made a TikTok like last week.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed and I was like, I'm actually kind of glad because like I said, there is no really better like Radiant ambassador. So to see Nick around, it's like hell yeah. Like everyone knows Nick in the Discord as well. Like so. He's a prominent member of the community.
I mean, I like disappear for like weeks because like life, but like yeah, I definitely come in and I'm like, hey guys, here's more emotes.
Yeah, no, of course. And it's even just talking, like we see your enthusiasm whenever you're posting about how excited you are for something or what you thought about something. Mm-hmm. To us, that's even just as significant. It's like of course we love the emotes and everything, but just to be able to talk to you regularly and just to like, I was thrilled when you reached out, because I'm personally like introverted as fuck, so I don't like to reach out to people. That's why sometimes I'll do like a general like, oh, anyone want to come on the show? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's really just me being like, you and you and you should message me because I don't want to message you. But yeah, so it's like I'm really glad you reached out because we, like I said, it's been long overdue and we've wanted to get you on the show for such a long time now. So
yeah, man, absolutely. I listen to so many podcasts. So like I listened to like the past 5 or 6 of your guys' show like last week of just like trying to catch up. Nice. But yeah, it's like I love coming on a podcast. I have 2 of my own, and I love talking. I'm one of those people who like never shuts up, which is why I think I do well on TikTok and why I like relate to Marshall so much, because I'm like, man, that guy never shuts up. But me neither.
Tell the audience your podcast names.
So I'm on the Voices of Atlas podcast, which is a podcast where we talk about diversity in media. We are all Asian creators talking about like aspects of movies and TV shows, either including Asian diversity or not. We're just Asian talking about cool stuff. I do go off tangents about Radiant Black and Robbie Reyes, who is like my original ride or die. So that's fun.
I like it.
Ghost Ride or Die.
Yeah, Ghost Ride or Die.
Did you see the HasLab?
Yeah. Okay. I woke up. Everyone tagged me. Everyone sent it to me. They're like, "Hey, did you see it?" I was like, "Well, of course I did." Like, yeah, I had to go make like a video about it and everything. It was really funny. But yeah, I saw it. It's $350 though. That's a hefty price tag. It's like, do I get that or do I get the helmet?
The helmet. Yeah. Oh my god.
Hard choices. Both are bad choices, but like, one of the choices has to be made. And then my other one is called The Flip Side, which is a D&D podcast that I do with my friend Tyler. We have like little like 4-episode adventures, usually doing like different role-playing systems. We just did one where I was a DM and I did like some time travel demon cult thing. Nice. But it's been a fun time. Yeah. Like again, I appreciate you guys having me. It's been a lot of fun.
No problem.
Anytime. Thanks for coming on, man.
Come on again, just not episode 37.
Yeah. Totally cannot make episode 37. That's the honor of the process.
Yeah, no, 100%. And maybe even like if we can get Cherish back on and get Nick on at the same time, that would be
I'd love that.
Get the whole family together.
One more last funny story. I feel like I'm like weirdly involved with Supermassive. When I had interviewed Cherish Chen on my podcast, it was so funny because I had found out that her husband is Will Campos. Have you guys ever listened to Dungeons and Daddies?
No.
So that's a D&D podcast. That is. Do you guys ever remember Freddie Wong from YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does a Dungeons and Dragons podcast with the people who he used to work at Rocket Jump.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And Cherish Chen used to work at Rocket Jump.
No way.
Yeah, and I was like,
Wow, that's hilarious.
I was talking to Cherish. I was like, "You used to work at Rocket Jump." I said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I listened to the Dennis and Danny's podcast." I was like, "Oh, my husband's on that podcast," and I was like, "Who's your husband?" He's like, "What campos?" I was like, "What?"
Oh my god.
I'm a big fan of your husband.
That's small world. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of both of theirs, which I think is
That
really
is,
funny.
yeah, no, that is awesome. That's
Yeah, so that's pretty fun. It's
crazy world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need like Cherish is I think one of the only creators. Sorry, hiccup. Excuse me. Cherish is one of the few creators that we haven't had on, so I'm really excited to get her on at some
Oh,
point
yeah.
because I'm just so thoroughly impressed with Radiant Red. I read it like I was okay on it when I read it, like it was good, but then I reread it again recently and I was
Yeah,
like,
as a whole, man.
I think it's so much better when you read it in
Better
one
on the
sitting.
binge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so much better. Like the way it's like for the miniseries kind of hurt it, but when you read it all in one binge, you get to really like you remember all the details, you get to pick up on the little things, and holy shit, it's so
The
good.
Shift's
Sue-
backstory too.
Yeah.
That freaking
And
suit at
her
the end.
letters in the back of each issue, like you could tell they were very heartfelt letters. This was like a big deal for her, and just to see her at the same time, like while she was doing her craft as a writer, but talking about, for example, how I was seeing her on Twitter stuff about like, oh, I'm reading Venom right now and I'm loving it, and like if I could ever like tackle a character, I would love to tackle Venom because I have something to say, and I'm like, you know what, like I'd love to fucking read Venom by
Yeah.
chance, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And David LaFuente's art is like phenomenal in that too, and just being like both cute and aggressive, I guess is the best way I could describe it.
Yeah.
It's so fun to see all these different art styles, and like just to talk a bit about the art in general for like the massive verse. I don't know what gold mine they struck
Right.
in getting
Mhm.
Igor Monti and getting David LaFuente and like getting all these like amazing artists. But like, I mean, the Power Rangers comics have some of the best artists working on that comic book. Like, I can never get his name right, and I always feel so bad. Coming back for Supermassive 2.
Daniele Di Niculo.
Yeah, he's coming. Like his art in Power Rangers is
Oh.
amazing.
Yep.
So to know that he's
Yep.
coming back for Supermassive 2 is like, damn. Like,
Dude, I legit almost shit myself. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Because on this podcast, someone asked me like a year ago, we're talking, I think me and Matt, like back when it was just the two of us, and they were like, oh, who would you want to do, like, Masterverse the most? And I was like, oh, Daniele Di Niculo,
yeah, man. Like,
and I was there. Oh my God.
he's got like such an energy to his work, to his lines, and just like it.
Yeah.
It screams like not Power Rangers, but it screams like superhero. But like the fun parts of like superhero-ing, I guess is the best way I can put it. But to imagine that coming to like the massive verse, it's like, damn, that's gonna be wild. I swear I saw that Dan Moore was doing some interiors for Radiant Black. I don't know if that's
I would freak out, man. I would freak out.
I swear I saw that somewhere, unless like I'm delusional. I'm gonna check his Instagram like after this and be like, yeah, I was maybe I was just dreaming.
Yeah.
Dude, if
we
Dan Moore
got
was
some
doing Radiant
Night
Black-
Might coming to the universe
yeah.
too. That was
Yeah.
that was showing. I'm sure Bash is excited for that one. But no,
yeah.
I'm really excited. What issue is he on? 90.
98.
I think 98 or 99. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, 98.
Yeah, so it's a good time to be a comic book fan. It's a good time to be a fan of diversity in comics because
Mhm.
comic books like Radiant Black are showing that not only can you do it, but you can do it exceedingly amazingly. And I think Kyle, like you said, he's done this amazing thing where there's this energy around all of the creators. It's not just, it truly is a collaboration, and it shines in that way. Like it shows, like everybody's voice comes through. And even when he's talking about it on things like Radiant Radio, people ask him like, "Oh, was this your idea?" And he's like, "Really, it was a collaboration of both. It was this and that, and this and that." And I kind of love that internal dialogue they have amongst the team where they're they talk about like how do you want to approach these things and who. And I'm really truly hoping, like I think at this point it's safe to say it'll happen, the Radiant Yellow miniseries, and we've shown how, or sorry, they've shown us how Lawrence Holmes, who's going to be co-writing issue number 18, potentially we've seen obviously Cherish Chen was the co-writer of issue 6, and then she became the writer for Radiant Red. In 12, we saw that Melissa Flores. Oh no, sorry. Megan Camarena was the co-writer, and then she's going to be co-writing Radiant Pink with Melissa Flores. So I'm really hoping that Lawrence Holmes. He recently tweeted about how this is just huge for him and how like it's amazing to be able to see his comic book, something he worked on come to life. And And so I really hope that this is like the jumping on point for him to do his own miniseries. And can you imagine if we got like Lawrence and then Stefano Simeone to do the art?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah, this entirety like is influenced. It's inspired me to do a lot of different things like moving forward, especially like with my art. Like making fan art is fun, but then like understanding that like comics don't have to be just, you know, just like this micro magazine you pick up every Wednesday. Like you can do more with it. Like I'm starting to look into like how do I make my own comic book and like how do I do that and like the writing process and on top of being the artist. A lot of hats you gotta wear. That's what I've learned. It's a lot of hats.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. It's like I'm really excited to like move forward and like be inspired by like this amazing team.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect place to conclude. Let
Yeah.
everybody know where they can find you on social media, like everything, so they can
Oh
follow
yeah.
your work.
So I've made it really easy for everyone to find me. You can find me at AmazingNickanger, AmazingNickanger, Amazing NICKANGER, on everywhere. My biggest platform is TikTok, but you can find me on Instagram where I post all of my artwork. You can find me on Twitter where I also post all of my artwork. I think I have a Facebook. I kind of don't. That's linked to my Instagram. That's kind of like post on Instagram and it does it for me. But that's basically my entire identity everywhere. I'm currently working on a webtoon that I should be producing sometime by hopefully the end of this year, beginning of next year, which is a Power Ranger comic inspired story where the team has to share one morpher. So that's gonna be fun, I think, of like having to figure out the character dynamics between all of them and then like the drama of living life. So and so. But keep up with me on that. It's my more ambitious projects. And then you can also check out the podcast that I'm on, which is the Voices of Atlas podcast, where we talk about diversity in media, and the Flipside podcast, where we do have tabletop RPGs and just have fun, because fun's fun. But that's me.
Hell yeah.
Fun's fun indeed. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Nick, for joining us and just for being such an amazing member of the
Thanks for having
community.
me.
Of course, and please check out Nick's stuff. Honestly, he's amazing on TikTok, everywhere, on Twitter, on social media. The artwork he posts, just the stuff he talks about, super awesome. I couldn't I highly recommend it. And if you haven't seen his interview, Voice of Atlas with Cherish Chen, oh my God, you're missing out. Like, there's a reason I'm telling you, there's a reason I chose not to do that. I was like, no, like that's it, baby. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us today, and stay radiant.